Good afternoon, leaders. I'd like to confirm I'm being heard. Good afternoon. Can I get a confirmation? Thank you, Leader Chandra. Thank you. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining the Leadership Masterclass webinar this afternoon. I'd like to thank you. Thank you for the notifications. I am being heard. I'd like to thank you for joining in once again. It promises to be a very engaging session this afternoon. I'd like to, first of all, thank the Global President of IEDF for giving me the opportunity to take this webinar this afternoon, and I'm looking forward to an engaging session. Um, According to our IDF organizational structure, I'd like to first of all start with an opening prayer, and then I'll be giving the floor to any of the leaders who would like to share a WIFO. I'd like to give two leaders in the call to give their WIFO before we start the session for today. Let us pray. Our Father, in the name of our Lord Jesus, we want to thank you for the opportunity this afternoon to be gathered together and in this presentation to learn from you, to listen, and to develop ourselves for the vision ahead. We thank you so much for everyone who has joined in and as many who will be coming in pretty soon to this masterclass for today. We thank you because at the end of this session, we'll have every cause to glorify your name because we would have learned, we would have developed, and we will be looking forward to higher progress we will be bringing in Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen. Thank you so much for the opening prayer. I'd like to quickly ask any of the leaders on the call. I have seen Leader Chandra, I have seen Leader Paul. Is there any of the leaders in the IEDF Vision 2030 on the call? Please, if you are, I'm just going to look into my screen and see if any of the leaders are here. You can quickly share your WIFO with me, with us. All right. Okay. Can I ask, Little Paul, I think I saw you on the call. Can I ask you to please share your WIFO? Just in 1 second. Thank you, Little Paul.
Yes, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Chair. My wife is simple, it remains the same, is to share with, to learn from the leadership masterclass how we can progress, how we can lead our activities. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Little Paul, for sharing your WIFO with us. All right, leaders, can we please mute our mics if we are not speaking? You can, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, I'm going to be asking another leader on the call to please share his or her WIFO. I'm not sure.
Leader Mary, you are muted.
All right, sorry about that. That was a mistake. Leader Sabelo, can you share your WIFO with us this afternoon? Thank you. Can you speak, Leader Sabelo? Okay, I'm not getting any response from him. So I will be asking any of the leaders on the call to share their WIFO with us. I have Lindiwe. Can you share your WIFO, please? Why are you in this meeting this afternoon? You can unmute your mic, please. Leader Lindiwe, can you unmute your mic and share with us your WIFO? Okay, I'm not sure. Are you unmuting? Okay, so I will be sharing. Okay, Bev, you've raised your hand. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Leader Mary. and good morning to everybody that is present. I know I was asked last week and I had connection issues, so I'm happy to share my why for this week. Um, why am I here? As I've said before when I was asked, I'm here to look, listen, and learn, very much like Leader Paul mentioned now. Um, so far, I'm enjoying this course so much. It's tremendously interesting, and for me, it has absolutely empowered me to look at my role as a leader, not with only to myself, but within my team, how I can adjust, how I can change my business model right down to my daily life. Um, I've just found this entire course to be completely powerful. I'm like a naughty child, glued nonstop to my book. Um, and the reason for this is because it's done nothing but literally wake me up. It's given me the kickstart on the part of my body that I prefer obviously not to mention. But I now know that I need to go forward. I need to multiply myself. I've learned I need to allow my team to move on. I've learned I need to give them trust. I need to empower them to go and do the work, because I'm very much involved with IEDF and my NGO part of my life. But at the end of the day, I run a business, and my business, Silver Moon, will not be able to function without me when I retire, which is going to be fairly soon, if the good Lord allows that. But I would like my business to be able to continue after I'm no longer able to work, for the sake of my disabled child. There needs to be an ongoing, and I don't honestly believe that I have looked at it like that for a very, very long time. So my why for is to look, listen, learn, become empowered even more, and set my little flock free to go and do the work that they need to do, not only for my business, but in the NGO space and the eradication of poverty. Thank you. That's my why for.
Thank you, Bev. That's so inspiring and really amazing. Thank you for that inspirational waffle. So for just to add to it, when we come into global rooms like this, there must be really a reason why you are in here. What do you want to gain out of this meeting? And it's so inspiring to learn that there is somebody on the call who this training is really making tremendous impact on your why. Why are you called? What are you here to do? And how much engagement and authority can you give to other team members working with you? So thank you so much, Leader Beverly, for that inspiring waffle. And of course, thank you so much, Leader Paul, for also, yes, we're doing well. Thank you. So today we're going to quickly run into our next session, which is Send, our leadership masterclass for today. We are in chapter 4. And I'm thanking the global president for giving me the opportunity to take this class with you. Once again, my name is Leader Mary, and I am the IEDF Global Head for Leadership Training and Development. All right. So, good day, leaders. Always amazing to have everyone on the call. In this particular session for today, we have been learning a lot, just like Leader Beverly had mentioned. But in this session today, we're moving into sending. Sending. How do we send? How do we know we are sent? And how do you send others in your sector or in your business, to make impact? So in this session, we have spoken in previous sessions with the global president. If you remember, we have spoken about calling in our Sitasta model. We have looked at training. We have looked at authority. But today, we are looking at send. Send. Leaders, because every one of us are leaders on this call in our various industries, in our communities. Send is very crucial because leadership is not complete, leaders, if there is no movement. You don't just acquire trainings, but you need to make movement in your work. So leadership is not complete until there is movement. And that movement is descending. Descending. So if you are called and then you have been trained, like we have been having in these sessions of the masterclass, we have been having trainings. And then last week, we talked about authority. If you remember, we talked about authority. If you remember, there was actually a very interesting activity where I took over because the GP was network was giving challenges. And then I was given the authority to present on his behalf. After being called and being trained and having authority, what then is next? The next thing is to be sent. In IEDF, we believe that poverty, is not eradicated by just having a wishful thinking or an intention. Poverty will be eradicated by each and every one of us if we move into execution, and that is the sending. So, Vision 2030, for everyone joining in for the first time, it'll be good you really listen because we're talking about the IEDF. We are now in sending in the masterclass, and our goal is eradicating poverty by the year 2030, and that is the IEDF Vision 2030. So that's what I'm referring to. So in the Vision 2030, it is not fulfilled by inspiration leaders. It is fulfilled when we leaders mobilize ourselves, just like Beverly was talking about right now, mobilizing ourselves, mobilizing in your chapters, mobilizing in your sector. In the informal economy, we will not unify ourselves because we talk about it. We will get unified because leaders are sent into their communities to make a difference. And that's what the sending is all about. So we'll quickly look at our recap, in our Sitasa flow, where we talked about the call. What is to be called? Some of you are joining in for the first time. What is it to be called? When you are called is when you discover your assignment. What is your assignment? Your job might not be your assignment. Your business might not be just your assignment. Your assignment is what you are supposed to be fulfilling here on earth. So in IEDF, we look forward to leaders who are called. When we are called, then we are trained. We are trained and we are equipped to do the work. Part of the training, training is this masterclass. This masterclass we have every Wednesday is a 16 weeks course, and we encourage every leader to be on this course where we equip ourselves until we have the same mindset. We might not be able as a movement. Remember, we are not a monument, we are a movement. Movement means we must be talking alike, we must be thinking alike, and we will be delivering almost the same outcomes in our several sectors and our different countries across the globe. Then when we have authority, we are sent. To be sent means you are now deployed into your communities. Accountable, you report, and we multiply. So if sending is not inclusive, the Sitasa model will collapse. So training without sending is just a classroom. And our work in IEDF is very applied. So for every time we come into the leadership masterclass, the expectation is that you go back to your community and you apply. Just like I'll always refer to Leader Paul and Leader Beverly's Wi-Fi. They are WIFO, they are applying the knowledge in their businesses, in their personal life, because leadership starts first of all from you as a person. All right. So let's look at the Jesus model in the Sitasa in action. I just want to give a clarity once again for leaders who are joining in for the first time that IEDF is not a religious denomination, it's not a religious organization. However, we are using Jesus as a model because he was a leader here on earth. So we have just chosen to use Jesus as our training model for the leadership masterclass. There will be other trainings as leaders in several sectors will be holding, where we'll be discussing so many other leadership role model. So, but today for the masterclass, we are using Jesus as our model for learning. So the Jesus model in the Sitasa in action. If we want to see Sitasa in action or functioning perfectly, let's look at Jesus. He did not begin by sending. He first of all called. So leaders, you don't begin by sending. You identify the grace, the skill on people around you in your different organizations, in your communities. When you call them, he first of all started by calling. He called people in his community. He met them. He saw something in them. So your ability to have that insight, to see the leadership qualities in people, it's very key. And that was the first thing we discovered in the life of Jesus. He started by calling Peter. He called James. He called John. He asked them to follow me. How many people are following you? So that is the calling. Then he didn't just call them, he trained them. For the 3 years he worked with them. And what does training really entail? It entails coaching and mentorship. He corrected them. He explained the vision, just like we're doing here in the masterclass. We're explaining the vision so you don't just walk alone. Until we have one purpose, one vision, there will be no movement. And that's the reason why we are converging every Wednesday, sharing with you the vision. Very soon, the vision is embedded in you. And once you move to yourself, to your various sectors and your communities and your country, you are able to execute, impulsively, because the training has already been incorporated in you. So he explained. Then he demonstrated leadership. He allowed them and he observed. That's the training component in Jesus' leadership style. And that's what we're replicating in the Sitasa model. So that is the training. Then he gave them authority. He gave them the power to go ahead and lead in their various community. He gave them authority to heal. He gave them authority to preach. He gave them authority to act on behalf of him. So he didn't just inspire them. So we're not just here to inspire ourselves. He authorized them. He authorized them. And then he sent them. That's where we are today. He sent them. And guess what? He sent them first in 12. Then he sent them in 72. So he had different cohorts of leaders. He sent them in 12, he sent them in 72, he sent them into their towns. Then he sent them into the communities to solve real problems. And every one of us leaders today, you are sent to your community to solve real problems. Okay. Remember, he also did not send perfect disciples. So each one of us here in IEDF, we're not looking for perfect leaders. We're not looking for leaders who are, well learned. No, but we are looking for leaders who are trained and they are called and they know and recognize their calling. I believe each and every one of you are here because you recognize your calling. And that's very powerful. Then he trained them and authorized them. He told them to go and made provisions for them to meet the vision. So that's how Sitasa really functions. Where we call you, you are trained, you're given authority, and then you are sent. And most importantly, you are then accountable. You come back with results and you come back with reports on both status and progress reports of work done in your community. So sending is not emotional. Sending is not emotional. Please, can you mute your mic, please, leaders? If you're not speaking, please mute your mic. All right. So sending is not emotional. What does sending mean? It means you are positioned. Each and every one of us in this call today, we are positioned for global visibility, for this global mandate. And that's why you're here. You are positioned. Then you are deployed. That's what sending means. That's where we are right now. Sending means you are positioned, you are deployed, and you are given responsibility, and you're expected to produce. That is what it means to be sent. And the trust is you have the trust to act on behalf of who sent you. And together we are being sent by the IEDF as a global mandate to eradicate poverty in our communities, one by one, leader to leader. And that's why we are here on this course today. So within the IEDF sector, we are sent in the sector as leaders, we are sent as chapter leaders, and we are sent as CDC leaders. I like to take that again. We are sent within the IEDF in our sectors, we are sent in our chapters, we are sent as CDC. We are sent as youth. I do know we've got a lot of emerging leaders here, youth leaders. You are sent as a youth in your community. You are sent as a woman in your community to develop programs and projects that can eradicate poverty. That's why we are here. No one is called to just sit down. It's work. And that's why when we come for the IEDF masterclasses, we are here to encourage one another, inspire, build capacity, and we go back to produce result. So everyone is called to serve. Everyone is called to serve. The link, I'm going to be looking at what is the link between Sitasa and Vasira. If you have read the IEDF masterclass, which we always encourage you to read before you come for this engagement, just to drive in the point to you even more. Now, in the Sitasa to Vistra, the Vistra talks about the vision. What is the vision? Why are we all here together? And you see, leaders, that's the reason why every time in the IEDF, in organizational culture, we always ask for the why for. What is your vision? Why are you here? So our vision, we know, is to eradicate poverty in 2030. That's the vision. That's what we're looking at. That's what we're aiming at. Then, what skills do we require to attain to this vision? I'm talking about the Vistra model right now. What are the incentives? What are the resources and the action plan? So, when we are sent and we don't have resources, what do? So I want us to clarify something really powerful right now, which sometimes many leaders have asked, and you want to know, how do I get to it? How do I really get resources, to make this change in my environment? Yes, first of all, you are sent. Okay, resources don't always come before movement. Remember, sending is action word. There's an action to it. So you are moving, you are taking a step of faith, you are taking a step to begin to talk, to begin to mobilize leaders in your community, to start acting. You are thinking, you are developing a concept paper on a particular program or project for your community. How do resources come? They don't come before the movement. They come when you move by obedience. All right. They come when you move by, it's a step. There must be an action on your side as leaders. There must be, as leaders, remember, in the sector, in the chapter, and as a CDC leader. So I'm sent, but I don't have resources. How do I go about it? I'm sent, but I don't have resources. The first thing is networks. Network. Already on this call, we're already a network. Do you see that? And that's why when we finish this class, we always encourage you, we open the communication and you begin to engage. So resources, the first resource is me and you. We are the first resource, the network. The next thing is we begin to form partnerships. Do you see how resources come to execute? We begin to form partnership. You partner with me. What does Leader Mary do? How does Leader Mary's skill add to what I want to do? Then system alignment. And before you know it, leaders, support begins to come. All right. Support begins to come. So there's no need to reinvent the wheel. This is how you actually begin to make progress in your community. God is not going to throw manna from heaven. We make it happen between ourselves. So, resources include, I just want to quickly put it down now for us leaders. Resources include the tools that you have, this platform, technology. Sometimes you can start your programs, just start by putting 10 people on a Zoom platform and you are speaking about your community and what you intend to do. Creating teams. Great leaders are first and foremost, I always say in all my trainings, great leaders are first of all great team players. Are you a team player? Develop teams. Don't walk alone. You can't lead until you lead from behind. You can't lead in front. You must lead from behind. Who are you leading? You must be seeing your members. So have teams leaders, CDC leaders, chapter leaders. Have your teams and then give authority. IEDF is backing you. Then you have authorities backing you because your programs are for the betterment of your community. So that's what the framework for getting resources really it's all about. Then the alignment. Okay. So then the alignment. How do you align? When your call connects with your vision, you're aligned. I'm aligned because this is my calling. This is what I've always been doing. So the IEDF gave me a platform to express myself in my calling. So call connects to vision. What is your vision? You must be able to know in one word what your vision is. If not, by the time you retire, you will not be refired. You need to always be refired. Vision fuels, your momentum in life. So training connects your skill. Training connects your skill. Authority connects to incentive. Send activates resources. Those are the things we were talking about in the masterclass. If you have read your this model before you get across, accountability strengthens your action plan. There is no work without being accountable. We are all leaders, and we know how we are so particular about our government leaders not being accountable, right? Because we need to see the action plan and we need to be able to quantify what has been done. That is accountability. So when a leader is sent, a leader like you and I is sent, resources then must align. So leadership must not wait for perfect condition. Leaders on this call today, I challenge you to start. Take that step. Don't look at perfect condition. Engage. Have a team. Begin to develop. What can I do? Do a need assessment in your community. I can start something. I can train. Remember your skills. Never wait for a perfect condition. I never wait for a perfect condition. All right, because there's never a perfect condition in practice. So what blocks sending? What blocks you? What are the challenges that blocks you from being sent? Number one is fear. Oh, how do I do it? Am I qualified? Fear. Number two is lack of clarity. And that's why the training, the leadership masterclass is here, so that you can get clarity. Clarity of purpose, clarity of the mandate. Do you really understand what we want to do in IEDF? That's why we're here. So to mitigate that gap. Now, another thing that stops us from being sent is you are waiting for funding. Everyone is waiting for funding. The government funds, we're waiting for funding from our mayors. We're waiting for funding from everywhere. Funding, funding, funding. That's what we always hear in Africa. Funding. Our governments are talking about funding. Oh, there's no funding. It's not about funding. It's about you starting. Can you have your portfolio of evidence? You must start something. People must see the viability of what you want to do. Funding is not just going to come because you are wishfully thinking about the work. You got to start the work before funding comes. And then, of course, we know lack of accountability. Those are the things that block us. Lack of accountability. All right. So when sending without structure, it creates chaos. When we send without structure, it creates chaos. And structure without sending creates stagnation. I like to take that again. And I do hope at this point, leaders, that you are taking notes of some of the things that will be inspiring you. You need to take action points from from the takeaway of this masterclass. As the points are coming to you, take action points. Sit in your office and you're taking those notes down. Remember, in the next few minutes we're done. But what are you taking away from some of these things we're saying? So I want to say that again. Sending without structure creates chaos. When you don't have a structure and you're just sending people randomly, you find out that people are just doing anything they want. And that's why the masterclass is here. We're trying to create that structure. We're trying to create that mindset. A movement starts from a mindset. It's not about the activity. It starts first from the mind. If all of us can have the same mindset, I tell you, irrespective of our countries, irrespective of our condition, we would have the same result. It works anywhere if the mind is together. So that's the structure we're trying to create. And then when you've got a structure without sending, it's stagnation. People are skilled, but you just don't send them. And at the end of the day, you don't know how much. Imagine if the global president did not say, Mary represents me. Imagine, will you ever know how skilled I am in training? I'm talking about in this network. I could have been training in many other places, but in this space, I've been given an opportunity to train. And again, I am not stagnated in the IEDF mandate. So that's what structure does for you. Leaders, give mandates, put structures in place, give people opportunity to shine in your community. That's the charge I'm giving you this afternoon. Practical application. Now, let's get personal to each and every one of you. Where have you been trained and what stopped you from moving forward? This is a self-reflection before I get one or two comments from everyone. And where have you been given authority, but you never took responsibility? It's a reflection questions on your part. Where are you waiting for resources instead of activating what already is around you? It's a reflection for every one of us. Most leaders are not resource poor leaders. Most of us are not resource poor. The challenge is movement. The challenge is movement. Take that move. By the time we come back to our masterclass next week, I will be asking if I'm given the opportunity, or the global president should be asking, what move did you take after our class of last week's sending? So take that movement. The IDDA Vision 2030 application. Remember, we are here because there is a vision. We are here because there is a vision. The Vision 2030 requires to eradicate poverty. Therefore, we must be sent as sector leaders into the market in your country. We must send CDC leaders into communities. Are we together? We must send CDC leaders into communities. Leaders, get your CDC running into communities. Take that action. We must send youths, emerging leaders. We must send them into campuses. I'm talking to amazing leaders on this call, leaders who have influences in their workplace, in their sector, in their profession. We must send youths into communities. We must send women, Leader Beverly, Leader Jubilee. We must send women, Leader Fatima. We must send women leaders into enterprises. Can you begin to train other women? Can you begin to energize other women to make a change in the community? Can we come up with several projects in several sectors? This is my charge to you this afternoon. Train them, deploy them, people, deploy them, and let the change begin one step at a time. We must come together every Wednesday to be inspired by each and every one of us. Look, without inspiration, you will expire. Without inspiration, we cannot expire. You cannot be tired. So every time we come on Wednesday, know that it is another meeting to be inspired, to be fired up. Most importantly, leaders, we must be accountable. We must be accountable. Send must lead to accountability. If you are not accountable, you cannot have references. There are no references for even bigger opportunities. So, what is our call to action? What is our call to action, leaders? Our call to action is, are you ready to be sent? Are you ready to be sent? I'm asking you right now. I like to get your emojis. If you are ready to be sent, can you just give me a thumbs up? Are you ready to be sent? I'm ready to be sent. Remember, it's not emotional. It's a mandate. It's a vision. Thank you, leaders. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, are you ready to be sent? You must be. You must be. You got to be strategic about it. Are you commissioned? Are you positioned? IEDF is the position for you. It's the opportunity for you. Remember, if we're not in this call, you will never know someone like Leader Mary. I will never know someone like Leader Jabuli. I will never know someone like Leader Fatima, Leader Bongiwe. Every one of us, we are amazing leaders in our own rights. So we are positioned in the IE together. We will make that difference. Leader Mary, hi. I am Leader Mary also. So that's what I'm saying. This is the positioning for you, for us to excel, in this mandate. Because Vision 2030 will not be achieved, leaders. I say it again. It will not be achieved by spectators. No, you are not called here to just listen and you go and you come again and you listen again and then you go again. No, you are called to make things happen. That's your responsibility. And that's what we want to be hearing. How are you making things happen? So today, I'd like you to, I know you, if you can unmute your mic, you say, I would like you to say, I will take responsibility. I will build and I will multiply. I will take responsibility, I will build and I will multiply. It's a charge I'm giving to you.
Oh, build, no multiply.
Yes, thank you, my leader. I will take responsibility, I will build, and I will multiply. Thank you. I believe you're staying where you are. Thank you so much for that thumbs up. I will take responsibility, leader. I will build, and that's the call. We will take responsibility. We will build. We will build, and we will be multiplied. And we will not wait for funding. We will take the steps. We will move. We will take that bold step. So the informal economy is waiting for your leadership, is waiting for you to shine, for you to pursue that gift that God has given you. Your community is waiting for your leadership. Remember, this is sending. Your community is waiting for your leadership. Your sector is waiting for your leadership. And if you're a sector leader here, if you are a CDC leader here, and you're a chapter leader here, every one of your leadership structure, everyone must be inclusive to shine, because everyone are leaders in their own right. So the reason why we are all here is because we are not meant to just watch, we are meant to lead. We are building something global, people, until it dawns on you. Every time I come to this call, it dawns on me. As we wrap up, leaders, it dawns on me that this is a global call. There are people from different countries here. This is global, and anything you are doing in your country can be replicated in another country. Do you see? We're building a global vision. We're putting our structures in place. Leaders, it's got to be measurable and it is generational. What we are doing, just like Beverly mentioned, Leader Beverly mentioned, it's beyond us. We're passing it on to our youths. We're giving them the mindset of being able to meet a need in their sphere of contact. Leaders, it's one informal economy. It's one voice. It's one vision. The movement will never grow automatically. It will grow when you and I say yes. When you and I say yes. That's what made America. They all said yes. They believed in the vision. Today, they are called the uncles of the world. IEDF, we are here to change the narratives. We are here to change the narratives because you and I, we are saying yes to this call. We are growing our leaders and our leaders are saying yes. So if you feel that stirring in you and you know you are called, you know you are trained, you can carry that authority, do not remain seated in your comfort zone. Connect with your sector today. Leaders, connect with your sectors. Take ownership of your region. Launch a CDC. At least mobilize in your sphere of contact. Look into your phone. You've got 50 people who you can influence, 50 people who you can talk to. Can you start this week? We still have time. Mobilize. Start by 50. Start by 100. Build a structure. And if there is anything you need to know, get in touch with us and we will share with you, your leaders, they will share with you more ways of getting the work done. History does not remember for those who attended. You know that. History does not remember. All right. History remembers those who acted. May history remember each and every one of us in this call. So in this movement, we need actors, we need builders, we need leaders who are ready to be sent. So leaders, my final word for today, because we're now wrapping up. Remember, it's a 45 minutes class, and I'm really excited. I am personally energized myself, So you are not called, you were not called to be inspired. You are called to be deployed. Jesus sent disciple leaders. As I wrap up, Jesus sent disciples. They moved and they made history. The change, they saw the change. It was generational. Many 2,000 years ago, we are still talking about the leadership of Jesus. And so now it's our turn. It's our turn now to make history. And I tell you, we're not backing back. We're not backing down. We are making this movement work. So arise, be sent, build, multiply. All right. And let history record that in your generation, in your community, there was a change because you were there. All right, leaders, I want to thank you so much once again. It's been an amazing time talking to you all. Thank you. Thank you for being in this masterclass this afternoon. It's never a waste of your time. It's a time where we energize ourselves. It's a time where we look into the vision again. Until you wake up, you arise. Remember again, don't refuse to be stagnated. Take that move. Let's not be like the average African who is always waiting for funding. Oh, there's no funding. Oh, there's no funding. No, remember I taught you today, how do we mobilize? It starts from your network. It starts from your network. All right. And it starts from the human resources. It starts by you connecting with other leaders in this network and see how we can build together partnerships for the work to be done. Thank you, leaders, for joining the masterclass this afternoon. We're looking forward to having you in the next class. Get as many people join this class. Get them to be inspired. Get them to understand why we as Africans can make the change. Change is not going to come from anywhere. It's me and you. And the informal sector is 80% the sector that provides the highest GDP for every country. Let's not kid around. Let's take this opportunity and lend your voice to make a difference. Thank you, everyone, and do have a beautiful afternoon. And looking forward to seeing you again in the next masterclass. Hopefully, the president will be speaking to us, as we really always love to hear from him. And we'll be getting a feedback from each and every one of you leaders on how you have actioned what we have learned today. Thank you, and do have a beautiful afternoon.